Alright, hello again, it's me again, Markus. Hallöchen, Servus. Today I would like to make a video about a question that I've received numerous times, and I can't believe that I haven't made a video about this in responding to this question. I've been getting this question for years. And the question is it hard to learn German? Is German actually a hard language to learn? And I've been getting this question from, of course, natives of German, mostly from Germany, some from Austria, um, as well, of course, as learners of German, so people usually from the US and from different countries as well. And yeah, so I'm going to answer that question in this video. And I get a lot of questions mostly from beginners. And hey, Marcus, I'm gonna learn German. I have German 1. I'm really excited for this next semester. Is German really hard to learn? So I'm going to answer this video. And I'm going to be very honest and direct about it. Yes, it is hard to learn German. But it's not impossible. I'm not going to sugarcoat it and say, oh yeah, you can learn that language in about 40 minutes, 50 minutes. No, it's hard. But it's not hard as Mark Twain put it in his essay, The Awful German Language, written in 1880, in which he said that it would take 30 hours to learn English, 30 days to learn French, le français, and 30 years to learn German. It's not. That's what he wrote, and it's not that bad. It's not that bad to learn, or it's not that hard to learn German. It's difficult, but it's not that difficult. And I think that anything that you're not used to is somewhat challenging. This goes for foreign languages. It also goes for other things as well, sports and riding a bike. I guess we have to fall as we try to ride our bike. We have to fall and practice and fall and make mistakes, and then eventually it becomes second nature to us. And the same thing goes with German. It's just a little more complicated because, yeah, but it can be done. I see people who speak excellent German. Their mother tongues are English. I wrote a few people down just to do some shout outs. There's a guy from Tasmanian, or geez, Tasmania. His name is, or I don't know his name actually, but his username is ETVDZS. I will link you to him. And there's the Maria Tena, and there's someone else. Her name, I don't know her name either, but her username is Ich bin ein Gummibär. So that's kind of funny, but look at their videos. They all speak. I mean, I don't really make videos in German. I should, and I will, I promise. But they make videos. They make many videos in German. They're good. Very brilliant, actually. But yeah, and then Germans have this notion. They think their language is hard, though. So they say, yeah, they have this saying, "Deutsche Sprache, schwere Sprache." And so German language, hard language, but I'm not buying it really. And it's really intimidating, the language. I was a little intimidated at first before I started learning German a while ago. But I hope that I can, with this video, allay your fears, and that you have less doubts about about the language being so hard to learn after watching this video. In saying that, I'm going to talk about the similarities between English and German, because most people who ask me if German is hard are natives of English. So then other people from different countries who don't speak German as a native language or English as a native language, they ask me as well. But they do speak English, so I mean, if they can't speak English, then they can't understand this video. So I'm going to talk about English and German similarities at first. German is a Germanic language. It goes without saying. A lot of people don't know that English is also a Germanic language, and that the two are kind of related to each other in terms of the vocabulary and grammar as well. So I have written down a few words, or I wrote down a few words that are similar in German and English. Let's go. In German, so I'll start out with German, and I'll say the English word as well. So German, Haus. English, house. German, Hund. English, dog or hound. So the German Hund is similar to the English hound, even though dog is used more. German Papier, English paper. Almost forgot English. German Mann, English, man, or husband as well. So Mann means husband and man. Um, I don't know what was used earlier in German, maybe like Ehegesponst, but no one says Ehegesponst anymore for husband. German, so a few more. German Buch and English book. And this pattern goes on, so German Bär, English bear. Ich bin ein Gummibär, so like the username. Uh, so, I mean, that in itself should make it more comfort, or you should be more comforted in the language. Okay, there are words that are similar between German and English, and of course, as it is a German language, a different language, there are words that are completely different than English words. And then, just practice, and more reading and more listening will improve that over time. Um, so what else? People are intimidated by long words in German. I know I was. Um, the first long word that I had in German was Tageslichtprojektor, and in English that word is overhead projector. And I guess German has this thing of combining, I guess, kind of using compound words. In English, we have compound words as well. So I mean, there's no real problem. It's pretty much the same. It just seems more overwhelming because it's a foreign language. So, but I guess Tageslichtprojektor, kind of daylight projector, as if you literally translate it from German to English. What else? So I do want to say that there are things that are unique to German that goes without saying, but I will say it anyway. But there are things that you cannot translate one-to-one from German to English, from English to German, and those things just have to be learned by heart. I think everything has to be learned by heart anyway, but just be patient, and just learn slowly, and you'll pick up the language in no time. Before you know it, you'll look back and you'll be like, oh wow, I've learned so much German in such a short time, and you'll be proud, but then be humble, stay humble, because there's so much more to learn. Learn as much as you can every day. So yeah. What else? So the grammar's similar because the two languages are Germanic, but German, they use more cases, and they have the nominative, accusative, genitive, and dative. In English, we have, and I guess, okay, so German, they have the um, genders. So in English, for English we have the, and I think Mark Twain touched upon this, by the way. In English we have the, and in German they have masculine, feminine, and neuter and plural. Different for all, even though plural sounds similar to, or it sounds the same as feminine. So the in nominative is dia for masculine, for feminine it's die, and for neuter it's das, and for plural it's die as well. And you'll get used to that. That just, you have to learn them, you have to memorize them. One thing I did, instead of, like, for example, diamant, so that's two words, diamant, the man. I kind of combined them so I would just remember it, and I'd have it as one word, so diamant, and that would help me with accusative, genitive, dative. So yeah. Also, remember that the nouns are capitalized. That's another thing that's unique to German. I'm not sure about other languages, but that's one difference that English doesn't have. We lowercase our nouns sometimes. And verb placement as well. Depending on the clause, German verbs are at the end of a sentence, sometimes they're not. I have an example here, and it means because I love you, so it's a dependent clause. So because I love you, or because I love you. And in German, weil ich dich liebe. So weil ich dich liebe, if you translate that word for word, then it means because I you love. So Liebe is at the end of the sentence, and it's just how the grammar is, and just ingrain it in your head, and it's not that bad, really. It's just a little switcheroo sometime from time to time, and you'll get it, I promise you. Um, Pronunciation is different. German is more a guttural language. I think they tend to speak more from the throat, and in Vergleich, in comparison to English speaker and to the English language in general. Um, they have sounds that are unique to German and the English that we don't have. The letter R, we have the letter R in English, of course, but I think in every language, in French, Spanish, Russian, German, etc., the R is just the most difficult language to. R is the most difficult letter to pronounce. I'm sorry, I can't speak English anymore. Um, so the letter R is rolled differently in German, and that takes getting used to. The sh sound in German, that's also something. So for I, in English we have I walked to the park. And so in German they have ich. So the sh sound, and it's just a sound, you just have to get used to it. Some people start out with ich, and some people say ich. I prefer ich sound. Yeah. And what else? The whole rhythm of the language. I guess each language is kind of like a song or like music. Different keys, different notes, different rhythms, different language melodies, and just learn the rhythm of the language. And you hear it, and you practice it, and then you got it. No one, I mean, it's really hard to sound like a native, but you can get really close to sounding like a native if you really try and put in the effort and have that musical ear for it. Emphasis of the words, that takes getting used to as well. Depends on kind of where the language is from, if it's from Greek or if it's from Latin. One word is, I guess, the word for grammar in German is Grammatik. Emphasis on the second syllable, ma, Grammatik, so not Grammatik, not Grammatik, not on the last syllable. And you hear it, and you can use different online dictionaries, or you can just talk to people, and then the more you talk to people and hear the language, the more you'll get used to it. German has 4 letters that are not in English at all, and I'll go over those. First one is, or I'm going to talk about the phenomenon of the umlaut. The umlaut looks like 2 dots over the letters A, O, and U, and it is not used to make the language look pretty. Although I do like using umlauts, or not using them, but I do like accent marks and umlauts in different languages. It's like, okay, cool, that's cool, man. But it makes the letter sound a little different, and you can learn it over time. So the A, the letter A in English, in German it's A, and so A, A in German, and then the A with the umlaut over it, it is E. So kind of like the E sound in bet. So bet, E. So then there's O. Oh no, then I'll go to U actually. There's the U in English, and then in German U, and the U with the umlaut over it is a Ü. Um, so the word for goodbye in German is Tschüss. It's not Tschüss, it's Tschüss. You just have to round your Tschüss. Just practice, and I remember at first I was saying Tschüss all the time instead of Tschüss. So yeah, and then the third one is O. So in English we have O, German we have O, and the O with the this is really difficult for English speakers, English natives. The O with the umlaut over it is U, U. So sorry about that. So one word that is really hard for natives to say is Eichhörnchen, Eichhörnchen, squirrel in German. So it's really difficult, but it just takes getting used to, and you can do it. I know. I just practice it over and over again. I used to say it really, really badly. I used to say like Eichhörnchen or something like that, but now Eichhörnchen. So people asked me about regional differences as well. I guess there are dialects in Germany, There's Bavarian, there's Kölsch and Cologne. There's really a lot of different dialects all over Germany, and each, I mean, some people will say some word for this thing, some people will say something else, but overall, people mostly speak standard German in Germany, and it's not really that bad if they do use something in their dialect. Then you might understand it in context. If not, then just ask, and they'll help you understand the word. Um, let's see, whatever, or what else? Oh yeah, I forgot another letter. The SZ. It is just. It looks like here. So Eigensinn macht Spaß hier. This letter here. The last letter in Spaß. It's not pronounced Spab. It's pronounced Spaß. Looks like a B with a tail on it. It's just double S, um, and yeah, and that's not really hard at all. It's just two S's basically. Um, what else? Okay, so I think that's pretty much it. Wanted to say a few more things. Basically, something to make the language easier is just know you can do it. Know that you can learn German, and just don't give up. And not giving up will make you feel stronger about your passion in the language and the motivation. And the more you learn a language, the more friends you'll get in Germany and Austria, Switzerland, etc. And they'll help you, and you'll want to learn it more. And you have to want to learn it, and that will make it a lot easier in itself. Um, if someone forces you to do something, then it's kind of harder to do it than if you wanted to do it by yourself, or to do it yourself. If I had to learn a language that is considered to be easier than German, but I didn't want to learn a language, then I think that language would be harder for me to learn than German. That's just me, but you have to really want to learn German. Just have that, like I said in the beginning, have that motivation in your heart, that passion, that fire that grows over time, and you'll be fine. Another thing, as I keep talking, there are many resources to learn German. Online resources. Technology is great these days. Online dictionaries. There are a few that I will put links in the description box under the three people who I mentioned, the three brilliant people who speak German. One is dict.leo.org. That's a great one from English to German, German to English, if you are learning English. Another one is dict.cc, and that is German to English as well, English to German. So, yeah. Something else, I was just thinking about this, another thing to motivate you, because I know you can do it. I have faith in all of you to learn German. I mean, look at me, I mean, if I can learn German, then you can learn German, and I'm still learning German, but if I can do it, you can do it. I know it. But, okay, so I'm going to say something, it's going to sound really weird, but I'm a human, and I am a native English speaker, so if you have someone like Hans who's German, for example, Hans from Germany, from Hannover, and speaks perfect German. He has that advantage over me, that he speaks German and I don't. I have to learn German. But because he's a human and I'm a human, and a human can speak German, then it's humanly possible to speak German. So if Hans can do it, then you can do it. He just has that advantage, and we just have to spend more time on it. But it is possible, and yeah, just know that it's possible. For someone to learn German, a German person can learn English, you can learn Spanish. It just takes more time. So I hope that's clear to you guys. I'm not sure, but I think that is all for this video. Thank you for watching, and ciao for now. And have fun with your learning, your German learning. So yeah, thank you for watching, and comments are appreciated. So yes. Ciao and tschüss.